Hello and welcome to this special episode of the Bengal Banter, the Sports Corner. I'm Brenton Van Tassel. Bengal Banter was brought to you, filmed and produced right here on the campus of Idaho State University. Today I have with me the director and producer of the sports crew here at Idaho State, John Young. Hello, John. How are you doing today?
Hey, Brenton. It's good to see you again. I like your shirt.
Yeah, thank you. Don't get too much into this kind of clothing, so it's nice to dress up for once.
Well, it's a perfect color for on air, so you're doing well.
Tell me a little about yourself, John. What do you do for your career, or what have you done, past experiences?
You know, I started in broadcasting in 1989, and I spent 12 years live on the air at Channel 6 right here in Pocatello, anchoring, much like we're doing now, and reading from a teleprompter, everything that you guys are working on at the moment. And after that, I ran an advertising agency for another 10 years, and now I'm moving into financial planning as well as advertising and marketing.
So can you expand on that, what you're doing currently as of right now in your career?
So I'm in a sort of a transition phase. It's kind of an old dog learning new tricks, but I've continued to maintain my advertising and marketing business, but I've also gained insurance licenses and securities licenses in the last year. And so I'm working on personal financial planning, insurance sales, retirement, and that kind of thing for people.
Now let's move into the direction of the sports production crew. What exactly is it, and what does it do for the university?
You know, I'm really impressed with the sports production crew. I was asked to come in and help guide a program that's already up and running, where we take university broadcasting equipment and a crew of 8 to 10 students, and we live webcast sports events primarily to the tune of about 50 live webcasts a year. And well, you've been there, so you know, but for people who haven't done a lot of that kind of thing, live production is an entirely different animal from anything else, because there's no restarting if there's a mistake. When the time comes to be on the air, you have to be ready to be on the air with your product. And it's remarkable to me that we're able to take students and do the quality of work that we've done. And I hope that people will start to look for those webcasts so that they can see the products that ISU students are capable of producing, because we're really you know, we're the quality of the live sportscasting production that we're able to execute here at ISU with a student crew and some professional leadership really rivals a lot of what you're going to see on mid-level network television.
Now, we talked about the sports crew, but does the crew do anything else for the school, any other special projects?
You know, we've been hired out to do some of the stage productions. We've done a symphony concert. We have done a theatrical performance. We do the Frank Church Symposium. We live stream that. So yes, but by and large, 95% of everything we do is sports related. We do all the home football games, all the home volleyball games, and all the home basketball games. Again, that adds up to about 50 productions a year.
How many people do you have on your crew, and how many does it take to run a successful production?
It depends on what the sport is. Football is more elaborate, where not only are we responsible for what's going out over the web live, but we also have to run some of the in-house components at Holt Arena, where like the big board, and we have to run the in-house advertising and the graphics that complement what the announcers are saying. So that we usually need, you know, a good 10 to 12 people to run a football webcast, and we end up with about half that for volleyball and basketball, where we need 6 or 7 people involved to do everything that we're being asked to do.
Now, are the jobs and people you hire, are they strictly students, or do you guys hire outside of the university as well, or how's that work?
Right now it's been strictly students. I think the stipulation is that you have to be eligible to be on the university payroll, and because these are paid positions, which I like, because it's a demanding job and it's a lot of hours, and I need that resource of, you know, a wage to keep the students who come in and learn what they're doing on board for as many webcasts as we have to produce. So we haven't hired outside the university. It's been all students, mostly undergrads, and it's worked incredibly well.
How are the shifts scheduled? Is there a certain amount of hours students can or cannot work?
You know, I've learned a little bit about university payroll policy doing this, and you know, they do want the students limited to 19 hours a week, or 19 hours every 2 weeks tops. So I have to juggle a little bit if students, especially like, there's a guy who works with us, Kai Westball, who works in public safety quite a bit. And so he's limited in the amount of hours he can put in sports crew. For the most part, we need 10 to 20 hours per week on a busy week, and I have enough students to break that up where no one ever really hits that upper limit unless they have another on-campus job.
Has there been any recent developments in the last couple of years since you've came in that make productions easier or more simple?
Simple. It gets more complex as we go. It's not getting more simple. I mean, the demands of the viewers are enhanced every year as technology changes. The biggest thing that we've achieved is we've gone from an SD, standard definition webcast to a full HD webcast in the last year. And like I said, that actually made things more complex, but we do have the equipment from our cameras all the way now through our recording equipment and broadcasting equipment to do full HD. And we've since added replay capability, some custom wiring, and we keep improving. And I don't know if that makes things simpler, but it certainly makes things better for the university and for the end product. And I'm very proud of the team that I work with that we're able to execute all of that.
Now, we have a special video that you were a part of about the 3-play replay system. So we're going to take a look at that, and we'll be right back. The Idaho State University sports production crew has made a huge leap in the production world. At the start of the 2015-2016 school year, they upgraded to the 3-play replay system. This allows them to instantly play back a video right after a memorable play has occurred. Audio was way hard to
This is a beneficial new addition to producing a high-quality sports
the band
broadcast.
playing.
It allows
being
us
inside.
then to provide the Big Sky Conference with the ability to look at everything that happens on the field from 4 different angles, no matter what's going on.
The Big Sky Officials Committee has stressed how critical a great replay system can be. The officials can use all of the camera feeds from the 3-play to determine certain decisions throughout the game.
It's really important because it allows the officials, one, to get the call right, 2, to really see if there's something flagrant that happened on the court that the officials might have missed, or a punch thrown or whatever. And then 3, it also helps, I guess, the individual teams make sure the officials get the right call in a crucial game.
The 3-play has not only improved production, but it has also gotten Idaho State athletics some recognition from around the nation. On the very first live production of an Idaho State home football game, there was a replay that went viral all over the internet and even appeared on the top 10 plays of ESPN.
Idaho State Black Hills State Michael Sanders finds Madison Manga making the one-handed catch.
Student athletes embraced the recognition Idaho State had gotten.
Realistic that, there's a possibility that we can get that publicity like that.
The 3-play continues to play a significant role for the Idaho State sports production crew, and they have high expectations for the future. This is Brenton Van Tassel reporting from the campus of Idaho State University.
Nice job on that.
Thank you very much.
You got that right.
Yeah, I hope so. So with that 3-play, can you go into a little bit more depth for us on what exactly it has done for us this year?
Well, what I really like about what you show in that piece is how we are not just providing webcast for whoever may want to tune into a game online. That is a big part of what we do, but we are also really a critical component to the entire athletic department's presentation or execution of a home game, in that the Big Sky Conference now requires that there be courtside replay delivered to the officials so that they can on demand look at anything that happened. And that all comes from our camera work and it's our student crew that's providing that raw material. And the 3-play allows us to, capture it for our purposes, but also to feed it down to courtside. So it's a very elaborate system where we have the cameras bringing signal into our production equipment, including the 3-play, and then we split it out to various things, the web, but also to courtside for the officials. So we're feeding several masters, and I have to give the university and the athletic department credit. They had to make a significant investment to get that piece of equipment, but the capability that it purchased for us allows us to do everything the way the Big Sky wants it. And the feedback we've gotten from the Big Sky is that we're one of the best schools out there doing it right now.
Are there any new developments that you see in the near future for the sports production crew?
You know, I think we've made such a big leap in the last 20 or last 12 months that nothing stands out as like our next big hurdle to overcome. We are HD, that's now the industry standard. We are providing, you know, a full suite of replays to the Big Sky as well as to our audience. We've mastered the equipment that we have. So I think the next thing that we might see would be adding additional camera angles. Right now we use 4 cameras for football. Maybe in the next year or two, we add a 5th or a 6th camera. Of course, again, that adds complexity to it, right? Now a director, instead of having 4 different options at any given time, they're trying to manage 6. Same thing with replays. So we want to be careful not to overtax what we do. We want to do what we do very well and then add to it incrementally so that we can continue a standard of excellence.
Now, we've heard through the Big Sky officials, they're wanting more cameras for basketball games, possibly another camera on the other side of the gymnasium. Do you see that happening anytime, or what would it take to get that?
You know, unless it's absolutely necessary, I think it's really a case of less is more. I think we do a great webcast from a viewer standpoint with the 3 camera angles. If the replay officials feel there's still something lacking, then certainly we're going to do whatever they want to do. It adds some logistical issues. I mean, we need more equipment, so there's more money involved, and we need an extra person, at least one extra person, to operate that 4th camera. So now instead of having a 5 or 6 person crew, we're looking at a 6 or 7 person crew, and then we always need, you know, 1 extra person just in case someone doesn't make it. So now you're looking at labor costs going up. So it's not just as simple as we'll throw another camera out there. The Big Sky has to work with the athletic department. How much are they willing to budget to put all these things together at the same time? Okay. My job is to do whatever they say they need done.
Okay, right on. Well, John, we've really enjoyed hearing about all that you have done and continue to do with your career and all the improvements you have made for the production crew here at Idaho State. We'd like to thank you for your time, and this is the Bengal Banter Sports Corner, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.